Testing, testing. How about there? Again, man. I thought I had it this time. Thank you, Renz. I got it now. Every time, never fails, right? I thought I had it, but I guess not. Man, that shows you how long it's been. But yeah, let me know if that's good now. I think I'm good. All right. So, episode 7 of the Figure Lowdown. Welcome back. Hopefully you all had a good Thanksgiving break. I had a good one. Hopefully you're all awoken from your food comas by now. If not, then you're catching us on replay. Good morning. Welcome back. Hopefully you slept. You are re-energized and ready to go on for at least the next month, right until we have to eat again and fall into another coma from the holidays, from all the food we're going to be eating. Eating good. This is a good time of year where we're eating good, right? Yeah, I had a good break. Went to go see Thanksgiving, the movie, on Thanksgiving night. So that was fun. Some friends of mine invited me to go. That was a fun time. Good, fun horror movie. And I'll talk about that, hopefully, on Feezy's Media, the other channel that I'm slacking on that one. So, yeah. Look forward to that coming up eventually, right? But yeah, so thank you all for joining me. I know this is kind of off for me. I figured I'd try this one. I've kind of been behind, so I wanted to get this video up to do this stream, talk about some figures that I missed out on. I know the first part of this, I'm going to be talking about some figures some people already touched on in other streams, but I just wanted to give my thoughts, my opinions. We're going to do the 1/6 for the first half, and then the last half, we're going to do some 1/12 figures. All right, so without further ado, let's go ahead and jump into it. Starting off with Present Toys Mutant Man C. C, I'm pretty sure I'm going to put my money that stands for Cyclops here, but yeah, this is this looks pretty cool. Overall, I agree with other content creators, YouTubers, people who've already looked at this figure, that these pictures though do look like renders. So I don't know. Hopefully the final comes out maybe slightly improved. Yeah, I can obviously this is gonna be based on Jim Lee's aesthetic, right? His design, his suit design. The likeness, I don't think is based on anything in particular. I mean, yeah, the suit is based on 90s Jim Lee X-Men, but this is giving more of a realistic look, right? And it's kind of hard to base that likeness on somebody because that we haven't had like a live action 90s version of Cyclops, right? And so I can see how they took some liberties with this. Unlike, for example, Hot Toys did with Star Wars: The Clone Wars, right? When they brought him over to live action, they at least went off of Hayden Christensen and Samuel Jackson's likeness to go over that. So they had something to go off of. But here, being the first 1/6 scale figures to do this, they don't really have a likeness to go off of. So, I kind of see where people are saying that it's the sculpt or the face sculpt or the head sculpt and the face, the portrait, whatever you want to call it. The likeness is kind of weird just because it's definitely not 90s Cyclops, right? This is something else. So I don't know. We'll see how that changes. We'll see how that goes, or if somebody else does this figure. But yeah, so Cyclops goes around, the deluxe anyways, goes around for $233, $249, depending on where you buy it from. Standard goes for $190 to $199, and it's set to release as of now in Q2 of 2024. So you can see here it comes with 2 head sculpts. Normally, right, for the standard, the deluxe is going to come with let's see here. No, so you have your 2 head sculpts here. Sorry, your screaming and then your kind of stoic face. You got 3 pairs of interchangeable hands, your standard visor, your smoking visor, your effects visor, and the deluxe comes with the ruin scene diorama, which we'll cover here in a little bit. And the pre-order bonus is this leather-like jacket that you see here on screen. And let me know if it's coming in okay here on your end on the visuals and the audio, of course. Always got to check the audio. But yeah, so this seems cool overall. I'm up like a lot of other X-Men fans. I've been waiting for an X-Men, a 90s X-Men 1/6 figure. That's one of the things I grew up on was X-Men animated series, just like a lot of other collectors, right? And so that's kind of one of my main attachments to comic-related IP and properties and media. And so, yeah, this is something I'm looking forward to, but hopefully we'll see how the final comes out. Let's see here, going on to the next one. Yeah, so I said the prices, a couple other photos here. You got the smoking visor effect, like I was saying. That resembles all. You got the pouches, of course, 90s aesthetic. You got the look. Yeah, I think it overall, it looks pretty good. We'll see how this comes out. I did pre-order the Mondo Omega Red, so I think this will be either this Cyclops or if someone else comes up with another one. Either way, I'm gonna have an X-Men 1/6 line, and that's something that I'm looking forward to, like many others are. But yeah, this is a pretty cool figure. All right, going on to, let's see here, where we at? Let's see here. Oh, speaking of, sorry, I forgot to shout out the chat real quick. Of course, Ren Salentino, good looking out. Yep, thank you for calling me out on that again. Right, I thought I had it this time, but I guess not. But I appreciate you, man. Thanks for being here. Appreciate you. And then yeah, we'll see if we get some others trickle in here. But yeah, thank you all for tuning in. And as usual, I'll have links in the description below. After I didn't have a chance to put them in there beforehand, but I'll have links to all the figures that I talk about, or the ones that are available anyways, in the description. I'll put in the timestamps after, as usual, so that you guys can go back and reference those. Again, those links for the figures are just for reference. Be sure to shop around on any of these figures, see if you can find a seller or retailer that works best for you and what you're looking for, wherever you're at in the world. Action Figure Academy Mike, hey, what's up, Feesmaster? What is up, good sir? Thank you for joining. Appreciate you coming through. We just started here on the Cyclops, and we're going on to the next present toys, which I'm sure you're all aware of, that came out here. Oh yeah, the diorama base. Sorry, yeah. So this is the Ruin Scene diorama base that comes with the deluxe, and this is really cool. I think this is another selling point for me. But this may be the deciding factor here if someone else comes out with another variation of their own variation of I should say Mutant Man C, not Cyclops. Sorry, gotta clarify that, right? Totally different character. But yeah, this looks really cool, and we'll see for the next one, Mutant Man M, that he also comes with his own diorama. So it's gonna be pretty cool to have all these. If each of the figures that Present Toys is releasing, all these mutants, if they all come with some specific diorama base, that'll be a cool display to have on your shelf with all these different figures on these dioramas. It'll be pretty sick. So I'm looking forward to what the other ones are going to be when they release them. But speaking of other diorama bases, Mutant Man M. So we kind of see a pattern going on here, right? We had C and M, and I'm sure they teased not Wolverine and not Cable. Those are probably going to be Mutant Man W and Mutant Man. Well, that's, yeah, Cable. I wonder what they're going to do with that one. What are they going to do, like CA maybe for Cable? Mutant Man CA, I don't know. We'll see how they modify that one. But yeah, so this is not Magneto. This is Mutant Man M. And again, another cool one. Aiming more to like a cross of the animated series and live action version. This one, even though I said in the previous that Cyclops seems like Present Toys was taking more liberties, this one seems a little more closer to resembling Magneto in the 90s animated cartoon, which is awesome, in the animated series, I should say. And I'm digging this one. Yeah, I can see where people were saying that the head might be a little too big, and then the helmet. But either way, I think just having this representation is cool in general. But at this point, this is in this style, in this version, this is what we have so far. Aside from the Mondo, right? That's strictly animated look. And like I mentioned, this is more of like a combination between the two. So, right now we have those two options for this character, and we'll see. Maybe we'll get more later on. But options, of course, for us consumers is always a good thing. And so, particular taste preferences and looks. So we'll see how this goes. So yeah, I'm holding off to see which one I want to go with in the end. Before I haven't jumped on this or Mutant Man C yet, because I want to see who comes out with what. But so the deluxe version is $390 to $400 again, depending on where you order it from. The standard version, just a figure, is $180 to $185. The base, unlike Cyclops, last I looked, you can buy the base separately for this Mutant Man C with the hand, the thrown hand. That's $240 to $247. So that's a good chunk of change there. That's more than the figure alone. And I couldn't find dimensions on the figure for some reason, and so I don't know if that's just still, you know, obviously it's 1/6 scale, so we'll kind of see, maybe they're still playing with that and the heights and see how they're going to compare. But the dimensions for the base is 15. Let's see, I think I have that here also. We'll go on to the next one here. Yeah, so the dimensions for the base, I have it here in centimeters, it's shown, but in inches, for those in the States, is 15.75 by 15 inches by 16.5 inches. So it's a decent size, right? And you can even see here, as going back to the beginning, as you know, as Mutant Man M is sitting on it, and he's supposed to be a 6 scale. You can kind of give you a general idea of what that's going to look like. And I didn't read that the fingers are articulated on throne, although that would have been sick if that was, right? You can kind of pose him a certain way, kind of have it mimic his hand, which is already kind of doing anyways. But you know, like here in this in these pictures they have, where he's kind of doing his curled fingers, and the throne's already doing the same thing. So that's kind of cool. This is set to release Q3 of 2024. So you can see here in the shots, the standard figure comes with one head sculpt of a stoic face here, the unmasked one, and then one kind of gritting, angry, mean mugging look here on a helmeted, and the deluxe comes with this third here stoic head with the helmet on, a helmeted head. So you get an additional helmeted head with this stoic look for the deluxe. And let me see here. See 3 pairs of interchangeable hands. Let's see, 1 wired cape, a pair of boots, bonus if you hack now. Let's see here, belt, a pair of arm guards, a figure stand, and I already mentioned the deluxe comes with the head sculpt and the Sentinel robot throne, the hand, which is a good incentive there. So, you know, obviously if you get the standard, you won't get that alternate head in the throne, obviously, but you can buy the throne separately for that. So let me see here. Mike saying, Action Faker Harmony says, saying that Magneto looks damn good to me, right? Yeah, I like it. I like the look. You know, we'll see again, compared similar to the Cyclops. I think these looks like these could be renders also, maybe a mix of the two. I don't know, but we'll see how that goes. I want to see what the final looks like. Fortunately, right now a lot of places are carrying this figure along with Mutant Man C, so we have options to kind of wait and see. You know, it basically won't be sold out anytime soon, right? Because we do have options to get this. Let's see here. Renz is saying the only thing missing to me is a translucent stand and separate helmet for the hand to make it look like. Yeah, that's always a badass option to have some sort of display. Oh, well, I'm sure people can, you know, because if we just think of acrylic stands, something acrylic to hold the helmet, I'm sure that'll be easily 3D printed. Maybe we can find those on Etsy, or if you know somebody who can print that. An acrylic stand to put the helmet in or something. I'm sure, yeah, that'll be coming. But yeah, I agree, that'll be a badass look for him, and maybe find some magnetic effects to go along with him for the that added effect for he's floating. You know, like I have in the thumbnail, kind of that look that they posed him with. So yeah, that'll be cool. Definitely have. Yeah, Magneto's just badass. So I'm glad that we're just at least getting these options for X-Men in general. All right. So let's see how we talked about the prices here. I mentioned deluxe $390 to $400, and then the standard is $180, $185, and with the throne again being $240 to $247. The base, the Iron Throne, which is not Game of Thrones. All right, so you can see all the detail here. Look at this, man! Look how badass this is. Looks like you got a piece of the X mansion here. There's X on the floor. You can see it better right here. So it looks cool. This crushed hand. Yeah, this is just sick. I can definitely see people just getting this on their own and mixing and matching figures to play with this. Yeah, this is awesome. All right, so going from Mutants to Mythology, we got the Pop Toys. This is the Olympus Aries Warrior Ariel. So this is kind of confusing because I've seen this figure listed as the manufacturer being Pop Costume on some websites, and others having it as Pop Toys. It seems like most of them have it as Pop Toys though, but you know how it is with these third-party figures that go up. It's kind of hard to, you know, sometimes they have spelling errors, right? And the words aren't really spelled right, or they're all weird. So I don't know. We'll see when it comes out. But yeah, this figure really caught my eye because like I mentioned in my previous stream, Figure Lowdown episode 6. I'm really into mythological characters, and anytime they mix, mythology with some other type of genre or IP, it just really grabs my eye. And so this one, again, being a big fan of Greek mythology, this one was kind of cool, especially with the other figures that we're going to talk about after this one. But yeah, this one's going for about $225 to $296, again, depending on where you buy it from. NRDs ranges from $40 to $50. She stands about 12 inches, so it's like 30.5 centimeters, set to release Q1 of 2024, so coming up here from the next few months. And she does have a diorama that we'll go over, which it looks pretty cool. So this includes, let's see, the head sculpt with movable eyes. So she's going to have movable eyes, seamless body. Let's see, a pair of holding position hands, the ordinary hands. She has her cloak, her dress here, helmet. So the helmet, shoulder armor, breastplate, back armor, armlets. Basically all her armor, it looks like, is made of copper. So it's going to be metal. So that's most likely the reason for the higher price tag of $225 to $296, somewhere within there. So this is a seamless body with metal armor. So it's going to be a pretty hefty figure. They're I'm thinking kind of like the Scorpion figure that was based on the movie. I forgot who made that one, but yeah, that one, when you took it out of the box, it was pretty hefty. You can tell because there's a lot of metal parts for that one, and sharp too. You can if you're not careful, that one's gonna like poke you. But yeah, so I'm guessing this one's gonna be probably similar, kind of hefty and pretty, have some weight to it. Let's see here. See, yeah, I think it's a fabric cape, obviously. I don't think the cape, it doesn't mention that it has a wire in it. It just says red cloak. But correct me if I'm wrong here in the chat or in the comments. But yeah, I think she looks cool. She kind of has like this, who was I going to say? I think her face kind of reminds me of, I was going to say maybe Anya Taylor-Joy. Let me see, which one was it? Yeah, this one right here on the right. She kind of resembles Anya Taylor-Joy right here. Which kind of gives you an idea, right, of if she was casted in some, period piece film where she was some sort of Greek warrior or something. I think she can pull it off if this is what, slightly what she's gonna look like. That'd be pretty badass. But yeah, this looks cool. It just shows you, the different poses. Here it looks like she has up to a single bend right here as well. Let me go back, make sure. Yeah, so far I haven't seen anything that bends more than 90 degrees, but. I think for the most part, I think this is seamless bodies are kind of a good amount of them. I believe have single jointed, but yeah, again, correct me if I'm wrong on that. But yeah, this picture right here, look at the detail on the musculature on her thigh. This is some good detailing here. This is a good job. I think they had that with. I think they were going to do that with the Chun-Li figure, the Play Toys. I think. That they, if I recall correctly, seeing some photos, they had some detail on there. But yeah, this is really cool. The intricate armor, the helmet. Again, as usual, I don't know if the helmet is going to present any, every time you take it off or on, if it's going to cause any damage or rubbing or anything. Here, let me see. I'm pretty sure the helmet was, the helmet is metal, so you got to be really careful because I see some sharp parts here too. So yeah, just in general, seamless body, metal, sharp parts. Yeah, you really got to take your time on that one. So just be careful. I'm kind of thinking about this one just because, again, I like mythology, 6 scale. She looks really cool. And it may pair, it's most likely going to pair well with these other next two figures that I'm going to talk about. But yeah, I mentioned she comes with she doesn't come with a diorama base, but they do sell it separately. So $50, which isn't bad. You can kind of see this, the wash they put on the stone looks all kind of crumpled and there's like cracks in it. It looks aged and worn. And you can kind of see here how that stands against, in the backdrop against the figure. It comes with this crotch grabber here. You kind of just rest her on there. And it looks like it hides pretty well, right? So you can kind of see that you can't really tell here. Just kind of play some trickery, some shadow, some positioning. But yeah, this looks really cool. And, I can see here that the diorama is about $50. Again, you can shop around. There's some websites for some reason that are some Asian-based retailers that are charging a lot more for this figure, and I'm not sure why. It's kind of weird, but again, make sure you shop around and see if where you can find the best deal, the best options for you, you know, shipping, free shipping, all that jazz. You guys know how it works. You know how it works. So the diorama here, give you some dimensions so you can get an idea, is 15 inches by 7 inches by 5.5 inches. And so in centimeters, that'd be 38 by 18 by 14 centimeters. So again, it kind of gives you an idea of where that's standing and how that is. Let me just check the chat real quick. I don't want to forget about you guys. Let's see here. Mike says, now we're talking. I'm shooting for at least one TBLeague silicone figure in 2024. Nice. That might be your first one, man. That might be your gateway right there into the into a next level of figures. Verzio, what's up, baby? What is up? Thanks for coming through, man. Appreciate you. Good to see you in here. Thanks for stopping by. Let's see here. Ren's about to have lunch. Have a good day. Thanks, Ren. Enjoy the rest of your day. I'm guessing you're at work. If you're at work, have a good work day, and thanks for coming through, man. I'll talk to you later. I'll get that dial. Yeah, right. It's a good deal. $50, right? And the way it looks. Yeah. Again, I don't need it to be made out of stone or anything. As long as it's well painted and well sculpted, you know, I'm all about a good dial also. So yeah, I think I'm with you on that one. Maybe pairs with some other figures as well. All right. Speaking of other figures, going on to the next in this, we have, again, same pop toy / pop costume. This one is the Scorpion. I believe it's a Scorpion Warrior. So again, here you can see they put Scorpio, but in some other websites I've seen it listed as Scorpion. So I'm just going to go with Scorpion and assume that they forgot the N here. But this is Martina. Probably the yin to... or the yang to Ariel's yin, right? So you kind of have like a lighter, maybe like the good side, the light side, and this is kind of like, this seems like the darker figure. You know, again, maybe good pairing for one of the two. I don't know if there's going to be more in this series because they do have it listed here as a star chart series. So yeah, kind of similar figure, some similar accessories here, same pricing. Pricing's around the same, $225 to $296. Again, same movable eyes, seamless body. Her armor, for the most part, I think most of what you see on the armor there is going to be copper. Again, let's see here. Let me see if there's anything different. You got the shoes, yeah, the long sword. She has a whip, and the figure stand. And she does have her own diorama, separate one, similar but separate. We'll go over that in here a little bit. But yeah, so the only thing I'm not quite too sure on, and I don't think I have any figures I'm looking right now with this, but this is not, it doesn't say it's rooted, so it's obviously not gonna be rooted, so I'm guessing it's probably gonna just be like doll hair. And so I don't know, I don't think I've had a figure like that on my own, so I wouldn't know how to treat that. I don't know if you can just still apply like the same products you would on like rooted hair type stuff. I don't know, you guys tell me in the chat or in the comments, you know, how do you go about treating that type of hair? That's kind of typical doll hair is what I'm thinking this is. Or maybe I'm wrong with the hair, so maybe it could be something else. But yeah, it didn't specify here what type of hair this was, so we'll see how this comes out. But yeah, again, this is kind of intriguing. I don't know if I'll get this one. If anything, between the two, I might go with Ariel, the Aries warrior here on this one versus this one. But I don't know. We'll see what the final product ends up coming out as. Let's see here. So yeah, so here's some options here, how you can display her. So you can remove her armor, the copper armor, and you can just have her in this black dress. And what's a scorpion without their whip, right? I think the only other scorpion we know has a chain with some sort of stinger. So she's definitely got one here too. I don't know if this is a bendy wire. Let me see here. It looks like it might be, right? Because here you can see it's not as coiled up. And then here it is. So this might be a bendy wire in there. Let me see. Let me go back to... I know it does say copper. It does say that the whip is copper. So I don't know. We'll see how that works. But yeah, so if you want to, you can display with that. And this is the mask she comes with, which looks kind of badass also. And then here is her dio that you can buy separately as well. Again, that's going to be about $50. 50 doll hairs. Speaking of doll hairs. So yeah, so some good options there. If you're into mythology and you're looking for some figures like that, we'll see what else they come out with in regards to that. But yeah, let me jump back to the chat real quick. Mike saying Scorpio's hot fire. Yes, love that armor, right? Yeah, I like the the intricacies on that. But again, you know, it's all made out of metal, so I'm guessing you might have to be really careful when you put it on or take it off. You know, whatever your preference is, however you want to have your figure with this seamless body. So yeah, it's just be careful. I can already imagine people are gonna probably have some issues in like puncturing their seamless body and stuff. So yeah, you just gotta take your time, be careful. Yeah, and do it slowly. Do some more. Let's see, doll hair is synthetic, not any real maintenance needed. Okay, good to know. Thanks, Mike, for that tidbit. Yeah, so I don't know how like pliable or how well it can be dressed. I don't know if you just like leave it somewhere and it just stays there, or if you want to. I probably won't do like anything fancy with it. I'm not going to go out and get it like, you know, French braided or anything, but I'm just, you know, I don't want it either frizzing up and, you know, all over the place either. So that's just the only thing I'm worried about. I'm cool with it just being laying flat and just being there. We'll see. I don't know. Maybe I might throw it up in a ponytail or something if I'm going to do chores. I don't know. We'll see. But yeah. All right. So going on from the Warriors to the Gorgons here. And if you're familiar with the Gorgons, we got the TBLeague Medusa. Mike, there you go, TBLeague. I don't know if this is one of the ones that you were referring to. But yeah, so this one really caught my eye. This was announced and went up for pre-order. I think it was last week. And again, mythology was Greek mythology is a big thing for me. I really dig and like Greek mythology. And so when I saw this figure, I was like, oh man, because I don't think we've had a good Medusa yet. There's a Medusa that I've been eyeing, and that's from Clash of the Titans, and I'll go over later. I'll show you, you know, which one I'm talking about. But yeah, this one is really close. This is I'm really this one is a good contender, and I actually pre-ordered this one because this is something that I'm really digging. I really like how this is. So this is the gold version, and there's two versions. There's the golden and the silver, and we'll go over the silver here in a little bit. But to start with this one, this is about $296 with an NRD of $40 to $45. Again, depending where you pick it up from. So this one has one head sculpt. Let's see. So the TBLeague is the seamless body with the metal skeleton. I believe they're all like that. A majority. I'm not too familiar with TBLeague or all of them. But I believe they all have metal skeletons. This one specifically, I had read was an S47. I have no frame of reference, again, because I don't know my TBLeague bodies, but for those of you that are curious, I believe this is an S47. Correct me if I'm wrong. That's just from one website that I saw that it was an S47. See a neck adornment, a pair of coiled snake bracelets for the upper arms. Let's see, you see the breastplate, battle skirt, claw skirt, 3 pairs of interchangeable hands, a serpent tail, which you can kind of see there on the left, 2 wrappings for the tail end, a bow, 3 arrows, a trident, a sword, lower leg guards, high-heeled shoes, and a doll display base. A doll. I like how they call it a doll. Like, hey, we're not gonna sugarcoat it. It's a doll. We're gonna just call it what it is. I thought that was kind of funny. And then we're over here saying, no, it's not a doll. We don't collect dolls. But it's funny, just like the manufacturers are calling it a doll. But yeah, no, this is really sick. I like the fact that we get options. Again, options, right? I'm all about options, and I love when manufacturers provide options in their figures for really good prices too. So you can see, you know, she has all these extra arm guards, leg coverings, shin guards, the neck adornment, the bow, the 3 arrows I was saying, and then you can have her in with the legs, or you can put her in with the snake body that rests on this base, and you can see here what it could look like here on the right. And she's all posed up, and yeah, this is sick. This is really badass, and I love the fact that you have these 2 options to do either or. And here's some more photos here, kind of closer up. Sorry if the one on the right looks kind of washed. I tried to brighten it because it was dark, and so I wanted to be able to kind of show you guys the details here and the snakes on her head, and just in the costume and the design and how intricate it was in the sculpting and all that. So yeah, this looks cool. So this is, like I said, the golden one. It's a mixture of green and golden. You can see here on the left how her articulation is looking, her kind of skirt, this part around her, this part of the skirt, and then this like a fabric part. And I'm presuming this is all plastic because they didn't say anything about metal or copper or tin or alloys or anything like that. So I think this is all plastic. But yeah, it's either way, it still looks cool. It still looks badass. So this is the golden version here, and here we have the silver version. So there's a couple of differences here between the two, aside from the colors. So this one is like, the color combo is silver and like burgundy / maroon, however you want to say. You can see here in the skirt, right? So this is more of like a maroon, and the rest of her armor is silver in this one, right? And if we go back, and I'll have some other pictures for comparison, you can see here these are more, this is gold and green, and her skirt's kind of gold and green, also following that same theme. And also the head sculpt. So the head sculpt on this one is kind of more subtle. She's kind of more just like more stern and more chillax. She's just chillaxing here. But this one, you know, this is the one with the screaming face, was showing her fangs. So that's they're kind of smart for doing this. Right? I mean, yeah, they probably could have interchanged them, but then the only difference would have been just the color, right? So it's kind of smart on their part, a good business move to include one head sculpt over the other. I know as collectors and consumers, we would want to have both for each one, just pick the color, right? So I mean, we know how manufacturers are. We know that they do that, include one head sculpt for the other, and they do that across all lines, right? I know there's different lines and scales. They have something to differentiate the other one. So yeah, I think because of that. So I do have one. I got the golden version, but I'm kind of thinking now I might want to do both, so I can have the two head sculpts and kind of swap them in between. Because there is some gold in here, so it looks like you can. It won't really go because there's no gold here, but it's not that. It's not. It's kind of subtle, right? It's not that prominent, the gold here, or vice versa, the silver. So it looks like you could probably go in between. But either way, you know, they have the bodies here, the armor. It just looks really cool. So it's good to have those differences. And then depending on what storyline or what, you know, version of the Gorgons and, you know, Greek gods you follow. Like, for instance, I'm a big fan of God of War and Greek mythology, obviously. So I played all the originals for, what is it, like PS2 to PS3. And in there, you know, the Medusas were, I forgot, no, not the Medusas, the Gorgons, I think they're called the Medusas, the Medusae. The Gorgons, I think is what they were called. They were like armies of them. They just kept coming, right? So there was like a bunch of them, a plethora, if you will. And here, so you can kind of do that. Maybe you can have more than one. You can just have more than one Medusae coming out, cornering. Or if you get two of these, right, you can have them go up against the two previous figures that we showed, the Martina and the Ariel, right, the Scorpion Warrior and the Aries Warrior. So that can be a good option too if you want to do that. Or obviously you can combine them with whatever you want. It's your collection. You do what you want. Do what you want. But yeah, these are pretty badass. So let me go back to jump to the chat real quick. Let's see here. Let's see. Mike, so yes, sir, the Medusa is stunning, a must have, but the price. Yeah, I know, right? That's like always the thing, the price. Yomo, what is up, my guy? Thanks for coming through. Appreciate you stopping by. Let's see here that Mike is saying, Action Figure Academy. The great thing is you can fit her into the snake body like a cup. Now that's what I call innovation. Yeah, right. Again, yeah, innovation between other manufacturers, and it's kind of cool, right? Because they can kind of feed ideas and you know, share that with others. I hope other manufacturers don't see that as like I don't want to say like a roadblock, but something that they kind of use to innovate them to add, to incorporate with the others, and that, you know, these manufacturers are encouraging others to do that, right? Because, you know, that's how products in general get better, if we all learn from each other and just take that idea. And I wouldn't want to call it stealing, right? It's just a matter of, you know, using that and maybe improving upon it. So yeah, that is cool. Again, I like the options. He's also saying I'm partial to the silver armored edition she comes in. Yeah, man, they both look good. But yeah, that's another reason why I'm kind of thinking about getting both. They both look good. The snake lower half looks awesome. Yeah, I agree, man. And I don't think it is. I don't think there's a wire in it. Again, it didn't say in the description, but that would be cool if they added it last minute so you can kind of pose it. But that might be hard to. I think they may have. They may pre-pose it so that way you don't have to mess with it, right? You can just swap the body and just have her standing, because it is kind of hard if there is a wire. I have a figure here actually right behind me. This is part of the, again, Greek mythology. This is part of the, let me enhance myself here. The Vitruvian Hack Sign, this is a 1/18 scale. So this is a Medusa. This is like a special, like based on the constellation, right? You can kind of see there's like stars on her that represents constellation of Medusa or the Gorgon. And it's supposed to be, you know how there's a constellation of Perseus and Medusa, and I actually have Perseus also. It was a 2-pack. But yeah, so I'm showing this because this tail, it's like in segments. So you can move it in any direction you want, but it makes it hard to, I'm not even doing this right. There we go. It makes it hard to pose her to get her standing, because you have to basically center of gravity, right? You have to pose it so she's on her own tail, and sometimes she ends up falling, so it's really tricky. And so all that to say that if they make this a bendy wire, it would be cool to have different poses, but then it would be hard to have her stand up, especially like in 6, she may be, I don't know, top heavy, so that may get annoying. But if there's a stand or something we can put her on, maybe that might help with it too. Sorry, it's a long-winded answer for that. But either way, yeah, Yomo, that lower snake body looks awesome. All right, so where are we at? Golden, silver, silver, and gold. Oh, yeah. So, yeah, I kind of put these side by side so you can kind of see more of the differences between the two. We have here the, showing the two kind of a little more close up, right? Golden, green versus the all silver. For the most part, it's the same sculpt. I was trying to look and compare, and they're all, as far as the suit and the armor, the clothing is the same. It's just different coloring. Even, you know, the bumps, the scaling here on her forehead, you know, that's there. They're just painted different. But yeah, it's just the head sculpt that are different. And I do like how they have this, the eyeshadow, I think that's what it's called, around her eyes, the eye makeup, we'll just say that, is they actually changed that, right? They didn't just change the face sculpt, or the paint, they actually changed the paint as well. And so I think that's kind of cool. And then here is kind of more like a burgundy. So that's kind of a nice touch to attention to detail here that they added. But yeah, this is really cool. So you can kind of see them up close, and you can see here the fabric cloth is more of like a greenish gold, whereas before here this is red, burgundy, maroon, whatever you want to call it. Magenta. No, I don't think it's magenta. I think magenta is more of a purple. But yeah, so yeah, really cool figure. All right, so let's see here. Let's see what Mike is saying. I've got a vintage McFarlane Medusa from the 90s. Yes, I think if it's the same one that I have, it's like from the, I forgot what that line was called, but yeah, I think I have the same one where she just looks all like some sort of demon or something. She has like a demon face. But yeah, I think I have the same one, Mike, that you do. We gotta share later, share photos later, see if it's the same one. But I still have it in the box. There's a couple from that line. I think that one and Zeus, I think I have also from the same line. But yeah, so I mentioned, you know, Clash of the Titans. One of the reasons why I got into mythology, I think, is when I was younger. You know, there was a movie Clash of the Titans, and that was in 1981. It was 1981. With creature work done by Ray Harryhausen. He did the design for those, and those are really cool. And when I remember seeing that as a kid, I was just blown away, and it just looked really awesome. It was all, you know, stop motion prosthetics, you know, no CGs back in the day, and obviously they remade it with the I forgot when it was. I think it was like 2000s with the guy from Avatar, and I'm blanking on his name, but I'm sure you guys tell me. But yeah, so that was really cool, and I've been holding out for a figure like that, and they did come out with one. And I believe it was Ray Harryhausen line, right? That came out with the figures, and I believe it was Star Ace, but it was collaboration with Gentle Giant, I think, at first, and then they came out with another one from X Plus. So I think X Plus is the latest one. But yeah, so this is, you know, sorry, these are kind of crappy photos, but I try to get stills from the movie. So this is from the 1981 Clash of the Titans, and this is what that Medusa looked like. And this scene was really badass. It was really cool. Just like the sound effects. If any of you haven't seen this and you're into mythology, I mean, it may be cheesy now just because, again, it's all stop motion and prosthetics or prosthetic effects, so practical effects. Sorry. So yeah, and prosthetics. You can see here, it was really cool. This whole scene, the way she was slithering around, and her tail was just really quiet, no music, and she was just going through and taking foods out. But yeah, then you know the snakes are kind of moving and and she looked more like snake-like here. So there's different interpretations of what Medusa looks like. Here she has the scaly snake skin, whereas these right here she's meant to be. She has like more of a beautiful, enchanting look, because that was the history behind it. Is she was one of Athena's priestesses, I think it was. Correct me if I'm wrong here, but she ended up falling in love with Poseidon, I think it was, and then to punish her, Athena transformed her into the snake. So there's, prior to that, she was just really beautiful, right? She was a priestess for Athena, and so that's why there's some representations where she has still some like her beauty, but she has this snakes for her head, for her hair, and she has like the bottom half is like a snake body, and then when you look at her, of course we all know the story that she turns people to stone if you stare directly at her. But this is the one I grew up on, where her whole body, she was like snake-like, and she was all scaly, and she looked, really gnarly. It was really cool. So I mentioned Star Ace did a figure of that, and that's this figure here. And this you can see, this in the movie, it was kind of hard to make out the rest of her body and how she was in the details and stuff, and especially with the low resolution and the quality. But here, I think for the most part, they did a good job of capturing all the details in here. So this is more of like a statue. It's not really a figure. I think there's some parts you can change out or limited movement, kind of like the McFarlane figures back in the day where they were statues / limited articulated figures. So I think this is kind of the same. And there's two versions. There's a standard version, the deluxe version. This deluxe version here comes with like this stone, this guy who's turned into stone already. But yeah, these are really expensive. I have no reason why. I don't understand why they're as expensive they are. Maybe because it's the name Harryhausen and the license, maybe. I don't know. But these are way more expensive than I think they should be. That's why I haven't bought this figure for myself. I just kind of been eyeing it on eBay to see, if I can get it at a good price or if they will release them. But yeah, from reviews I've been watching, I think the quality is, compared to the price, again, is kind of, subjective what we feel like what we would pay for quality. But I think it's more than I'm willing to spend on this, and so that's why I haven't got it yet. So these figures are a good alternative, I think. Either way, I might end up getting this one too if I can get it at a good price. So yeah. And again, just to kind of show from that same movie, they in that same line, the Harryhausen Star Ace line, they came out with this Kraken. Release the Kraken. So for those that don't know, that's where that line came from this movie. And this is the Kraken. And he was just like this huge sea monster that, and this is supposed to be obviously the scale of a human lady. And this will make sense when you watch the movie. But yeah, she was just kind of tied up to this rock, and they were going to sacrifice her. And so this like big ass Kraken creature came out, and yeah, he looked like this. It was really cool. Yeah, so I suggest going back to watch it if you haven't yet. But another figure I wanted, but again, way more. I think this deluxe right. This is the deluxe version that comes with this lady tied to the stone and this water effect. I think this was like around $600 for this figure right here. So yeah, way too pricey, I think, and way more than I'm willing to pay. But maybe someday, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But yeah, that was, sorry, a little tangent there, but I just wanted to kind of take you down trip to memory lane and nostalgia lane, or nostalgia road avenue, and see where my love of mythology possibly came from, or part of it had to do with it anyways. All right, so let's see here. Let's see here. Yeah. Oh, so I just realized here I didn't. Thanks, Mike. If the camera's on, you can't. Yeah. Okay. Sorry. So this was the Medusa, real quick. Sorry, I was going through all this. I just realized I wasn't. Forgot to de-hance myself. But yeah, this is the Medusa figure here I was talking about. Sorry. This is the stills from the Medusa from Clash of the Titans here. There you can see the dark shading here, and this is the Medusa figure from Star Ace. Right here. And yeah, pretty good. This is the deluxe version, and then this is the Kraken right here. Yeah, sorry about that all. I just realized. Yeah, thanks, Mike, for catching that, pointing that out. But yeah, so Kraken, Medusa, Star Ace, again, pretty expensive. So if you feel like those are your thing, and take a look and see. I think the Kraken was still available, but again, I think that's because it's really expensive for what it is. But yeah. All right, so going on here. So we got next up, we got switching over to the 1/12th, the 1/12 scale line. We got the Maestro Union Furay Planet Panda Brothers. So for those of you that caught episode 6, my previous episode, I went over a bunch of animal characters, a bunch of 1/12 animal warrior characters based, again, on mythology. And I went over this line, this Furay Planet line. And these, to me, came out of nowhere. They just kind of posted these up. These are already up for pre-order at a Big Bag Toy Store. I think that's the only place that I've seen them so far. But yeah, so this continues the line of those figures. And so this is a 2-pack. So they have 2-packs, and they also sell them separately. So the 2-pack here you can get for $165. But like I mentioned, they do have them separately. And so this is Yin here, the white panda, and then Yang, the black panda on the right. And so we'll go over here. We'll go over them separately. So both of the pandas, they're about 8.26 inches, 21 centimeters. They're $85 for each, or again $165 for the 2-pack. So they each have about 23 points of articulation. Yin here comes with 2 head sculpts, 10 alternate hands, fabric clothes, some PVC, some plastic clothes. So a wine calabash and a medicine calabash, and I'm guessing that's these 2 things right here. I've never seen that word until now. Calabash, I'm not sure what that is. Some sort of like, what is it called? Like a gourd type of thing? I don't know what the difference between that and a gourd is, but let me know. A walking stick here, fishing rod, 5 medicine jars that are already attached to his body. We'll kind of go over those in some other photos. A medicine bag, 2 bracelets, and its own comic book. I like the other Furay Planet figures. They come with the comic book here. So this is Yin. And they had like a little blurb about him. So let's see. Yin is the older brother. He believes that chi is the original source of spirit. He studies body, acupoint, and herbal medicine to condition chi and blood. So he's obviously like the more peaceful brother here between the 2. And I couldn't really find, so it says he comes with 2 alternate heads. This is obviously one here on the right, kind of more peaceful. And this one looks like it's just a render, and I don't think they have actually printed it out and painted it yet. And this is just a prototype, and it looks like he's kind of more smiling. It looks like he's laughing on this one. I couldn't really find another one that had like a zoomed in head or a larger image of this head. But yeah, it looks like his kind of eyes are squinting and he's smiling. He kind of looks like a big Shih Tzu, the dog, the hairy dogs. But I can kind of see obviously the panda resemblance in there. So if you're looking for a more serene, calm, chill panda, there's this one here. We got some more photos here to show, the fabric cloth, which clothes are fabric and which are plastic. And so these are, let's see, I think there's about 3 here. There's probably 2 other ones, but these are probably like the medicine jars here. There's some here, and he has all these attachments connected to him. Here he is with his walking stick. And then this is the basket that he has behind him. So it looks like he's going to be single jointed. So you can see here, this looks more like a single joint on both the knees and the elbows, which is fine. He's a big character. He's bulky. So I don't think even if they gave him double jointed, you'd probably be able to get the full past 90 just because he's a bulky figure. So I can kind of understand that. Yeah, so there's Ian. So he's got a couple more photos here with his fishing pole. We got his fishing pole here. And then I noticed this one I wanted to show to kind of show you that he has his big ass ball joint here. So I know some people kind of don't like seeing the joints. But he just looks like a big figure in general. So this is going to be a big joint here. But for those of you that don't like that, I just wanted to kind of point that out for you guys. I don't know if that's going to be a determining factor for you or not, but he still looks cool, just like the rest of the line nonetheless. I'm not sure. I'm still on the fence about, I don't know if I want the 2-pack, and I'll go over the reason why I would. But next up, we got Yang. So you got the yin, you got to have the yang, right? The light and the dark, the good and the evil. So this is Yang, and the blur they had about him was so he's the younger brother, and he follows his understanding that a strong body is the foundation of life. He focuses on Chinese boxing and is good at surgery, bone setting, massages, as well as operative treatment and anesthesiology. So yeah, you got some differences there. He kind of seems like the more Like I mentioned here, these Chinese boxing, so he's a little more of the aggressor here. Let's see, he comes with these 2 batons, 2 head sculpts as well, 10 alternate hands, again fabric and plastic clothing, wine jar, the iron tea stick. Let's see, 2 arm gloves, 2 arm, let's see, like bracers. What do they call them here? Gardebras, and a set of leg armor. So let's see here going on. So yeah, showing off. So this is the other head sculpt. So this is the one here that's kind of more kind of stoic. Again, just kind of stern. And here's the growling head sculpt here. There's one of the jar that it comes with. You can kind of see up close to fabric. Look at this tailoring on this. This looks really cool. And the kind of paint, the detailing on this. Again, there's that joint again. But at least it's black, right? So it kind of somewhat blends in. It doesn't look like it has any texture, but still, at least it's all one color, so that could help. And then the arms, if you have them straight, that'll kind of cover it up, or the hands, I should say. So yeah, I took these images and I enlarged them, so sorry if they're coming out kind of blurry here. But yeah, I wanted to show. So if you get the 2-pack, you actually get some bonuses, right? So there's an incentive for getting the 2-pack. And one of those bonuses is this alternate head sculpt for Yang here. So these are the 2 he comes with here. You get this growling one I showed earlier and the stoic one. But in the 2-pack, he comes with this more like stern growling type of look here, which looks really cool. So you get that as a bonus. And it said you also get a poster and a carp. So I'm guessing I'm presuming it's some sort of fish. And I haven't been able to find pictures of that. So I don't know, what those look like or how big that poster is. But yeah, if you're interested, those are some incentives for that, and it also is cheaper, right? If you get them 2, because they're 85 a piece, that'd be 170, and you save about what, $5 if you buy the 2-pack. It was like 165 for the 2-pack. So yeah, it's kind of tough, right? I'm really digging this head sculpt, and I'm curious to see what that poster looks like though too. So I don't know. So yeah, but at the price of about 2 figures to get those items, I don't know if it'll be worth it. So we'll have to wait and see what those look like. Maybe get more pictures and see what those items come out to be. But yeah, let me know what you guys think so far of all the figures we talked about in the comments or the chat here. Let's see here. Speaking of chat, thank you guys for sticking with me. Appreciate you coming through, especially for all my mishaps and my dome moments. Let's see here. Such a great Mike Action Figure Academy thing. Such a great movie. Yeah, Clash of the Titans. Yeah, it's one that's in my collection. I only buy movies that I really love, and that I can see multiple times, and that's one of them. The Clash of the Titans, the original one. So yeah, it's I've been wanting to go back to it recently, actually, and watch it again. So yeah, I love that movie. Let's see here. So he says the pandas look real cool. Are you getting them? Shih Tzu. Yeah. Watch your language. Collector Joey in the house. What is up, Joey? Thanks for coming through. Hello. Thanks for stopping by. Yeah, I don't know, Mike. I think like I said, I might have to wait and see what those other bonus items look like. If be worth it, but I don't know. Well, we shall see. Let's see. All right, keeping it at 1.6. So going on to some movie figures, we have the Hiya toys, Luke Deveraux. So from one animal soldier to a universal soldier. I went over this, I don't know, I think it was like in the previous 1 or 2 streams of the figure lowdown. When they showed this, I don't think it was like a Wonder Festival, I think it was called, or the Shanghai Wonder Fest or Wonderful. It was one of those conventions they had in I think it was in China, I want to say, somewhere. I think, I guess if it was Shanghai, but I forgot what it was specifically. But I kind of showed the display, and so this ended up coming through. This is already up for pre-order. Goes around $90 to $105 again, depending on where you pre-order it. But this is Hiya Toys, what they're calling their Exquisite Super Series. So I'm guessing the Exquisite comes from the fabric clothing that they have here, the fabric materials that they're using throughout this figure. And for those that don't know, Universal Soldier was a 90s movie, and it was starring Jean-Claude Van Damme. This is supposed to be him. I don't know if you can tell that from the head sculpts. And Dolph Lundgren, he was the antagonist in that one. And so, yeah, basically Van Damme was trying to stop Dolph Lundgren, he just loses it. They were experiments and, brought from, I think they were just like, their bodies were saved and experimented on, and they were made to be soldiers, that whole typical thing. Kind of Captain America type of idea, but, this is like using serums and stuff too. And so Dolph Lundgren goes, he just ends up being a failed experiment, and he ends up they lose control of him, and he does his own thing, and so they bring in Van Damme to stop him. I haven't seen it in a minute. I do remember it being cool, kind of similar to other Van Damme movies, but I have to go back and watch it if you're a Van Damme fan. All you 80s, 90s babies know about this one. But yeah, so this is Hiya Toys. This stands about 6.3 inches, about 16 centimeters. So 7 interchangeable hands here, 2 alternate head sculpts. Alternate head sculpts, so 3 total. He comes with the weapons you see there. So the MP5 SMG and the Desert Eagle both have detachable magazines, which are pretty cool. 2 grenades, the communication headset, a baton, a life meter, and a stand. So you can see the stands here on the left. And so let me get some other photos here. So it kind of shows you here what he looks like with the communication headset on. Double bend. Looks like he's gonna have at least double jointed elbows. I'm not sure on the knees, but yeah. So again, fabric costume, fabric materials, even the belt look like they have that same material, whatever that is. I don't know what is that usually like. And I'm blanking, like, not vinyl. What is it? I'm blanking on the material that belts are used. Like these types of belts, these heavy duty durable belts are made of. But yeah, either way, it looks cool. Like you see all these straps around them, so it looks like it looks like they might have some actual working buckles here. So it looks cool right here in these photos. It looks like Van Damme, right? This looks like the resemblance and likeness is pretty good, I think, especially for 1/12. How hard it is to kind of get that likeness and the paint detail in 1/12. But yeah, this looks pretty cool. This one, again, nostalgic. It's nostalgia for me. Like I really like the movie. So this one I got, and plus, even if let's say you weren't a Van Damme fan, or you can just say this to anybody else, it makes a good soldier that you can mix in with anybody else, right? Any other line, mix and mashing IPs, some sort of military, marine, any armed forces, or just anything, any based figure. So versatile, right? It's a versatile figure, basically what I'm saying. You can kind of mix it match with anything else on here. But let's see here. Let's see what we got going in the chats. So Mike saying, Hiya Toys makes great figs, but 1/18 is just a bit too small. So yeah, this one actually, they do make 1/18, but this one is actually 1/12, Mike. So this is their bigger figures. So yeah, they're kind of doing both here. And this is the one of their 1/12 figures. I believe the other one they had was the Rambo. I'm not sure from what version, the John Rambo, but I think that's also was the 1/12 figure they did. Let's see here. All right, going on to the next movie figure we have. From one law enforcement officer to another, we got the NECA Alex Murphy, but you can call him Murphy. So this just went up recently. So the NECA store, it first came up on the NECA store, and they released it as a bundle with a OCP ID badge signed by Peter Weller. So he actually signed it, and that was limited to I think 475, and that was $100, and that sold out at least within 25 minutes. And I planned to try to get that, and I made a note for myself, or like I said, a reminder, but I guess I missed it. And by the time I realized what time it was, I went back and checked, and it was already sold out. And so I was like, damn it. I was kind of pissed about that, but oh well, it is what it is. I wasn't gonna beat myself up about it. But then, I saw that they are gonna release this for sale at Target. So far, I've only seen it at Target, and it hasn't been up yet. Right now, it says out of stock last I checked, but that's there. And I'm kind of been eyeing that. So I don't know if that Target's gonna be the only place that's gonna carry it, but this is Alex Murphy from RoboCop, right? So this is before he became RoboCop. Spoiler alert for those that haven't seen it. So right now it's going about $35. That's the retail on the Target website, online anyways. And so that's what they have it as. So let's see, jump in here. This is the NECA Ultimate right? Not to be confused with Super 7 Ultimates. This is just Ultimate, no S, no exclamation. So these are 7-inch scale figures. So I couldn't find the exact height of this guy yet, but he'll be in that scale. So 3 interchangeable heads. Sorry, you can see there. 5 heads, 2 pistols, the battle damage bulletproof vest, the battle damage right arm, the battle damage hand, and like I mentioned with the bundle they had on the Necrosword, I came with that badge signed by Peter Weller. But yeah, this figure looks cool. I think I'm definitely gonna be getting this one. Like I said, I'm just waiting to till it pops up on to the Target store to jump on this. But yeah, so the next photos here of this figure, show these. So if you get kind of queasy, or if you're kind of sensitive to this kind of stuff, just be warned. I know it's a figure, I know it's a toy. This is a toy, so no one go reporting me or snitching on me to YouTube, but the YouTube police. But I just wanted to show you here what the interchangeable battle damage vest and this right hand look like, and it's pretty cool. So you have here, they have the screaming head, battle damage vest. They replaced the right arm here, and here's the hand. And this, if you haven't seen it, this scene in the movie is really gruesome, man. It's like, if you saw it as a kid, I'm pretty sure you're still traumatizing. You're still probably getting therapy for it, because it was pretty brutal. I'm not gonna lie. So just an FYI, heads up. This kind of gives you an idea, but that's how we got RoboCop, obviously. So yeah, but I just think it's really cool. It's crazy that they NECA were doing this. So I don't know. For some reason, something's telling me that I don't know if Target's gonna carry it or something. They're gonna get some crap about it. I don't know why, but we'll see. We shall see. But yeah, this is. I just think it's a cool figure, just because I don't think we have. In general, I don't believe we have a representation of Alex Murphy at all up until this point. But they figured, hey, if we're going to bring him out, might as well do it right and come up with the option. So this is really badass. I think it's really cool. So yeah, this one I'm going to jump on. I'm just going to, because I do have RoboCop. I have a couple of variations of actual RoboCop from different companies. And so I think obviously this will be good to pair with that one. But yeah, it's really cool. I think it's really cool. Yeah, so going on to, let me jump in the chat real quick. Mike is also feeling, I'll be getting that Alex Murphy. Yeah, I'm with you, man. That looks cool. Yeah. How dare you, Feezy? I'm calling the authority. Yeah. Don't go carrying on. Don't be carrying on me, Mike. We got enough of those already. All right. So going on here to jumping to anime. So from movie to animated figures, we have the Bandai Tamashii Nations Gohan, and this is specifically the warrior who surpassed Goku. So the newer figures of Tamashii Nations that come out, they always have these subtitles to differentiate them, because this is, I believe, the third variation of this figure, so like a 3.0. Technically, it's like a mix of previous figures, because they had a figure where he had this blue belt, but his gi wasn't purple, it was more like a light blue. So there was that version, and then they came with another version where he had this color of gi, but his belt was red. And now this seems to be combining the two. And of course, figures companies that come out with and they update their articulation, their design, their aesthetic, they implement those to older figures. We know Hot Toys does this as well with their 2.0s and stuff, and sometimes even 3.0. So yeah, Bandai Tamashii Nations, they've been doing this too. They released some figures that needed some updates, and so this is the latest one. This is Gohan. He stands about 4.3 inches or 11 centimeters, and this version I believe is from the Cell games. Again, correct me if I'm wrong here in the comments or in the chat. He comes with 4 face parts, 4 pairs of hands, 2 hair parts, and the first for the Figure Arts Dragon Ball line, a fabric wired cape. It looks to be wired, so that's really cool. So they, this is, one implementation that they're finally doing, where they're incrementally progressing their figures. First it was articulation, now they're adding. They're starting to jump on the cloth goods, fabric goods line. I know, just like some other figures have been. Black Series have already been doing it. McFarlane's starting to do it. So looks like Bandai Tamashii Nations is finally jumping on the bandwagon here. And yeah, so this is really cool. This is kind of showing off here the wired fabric cape. Let's see here. So this is the four face plates that he comes with. Usually with the Dragon Ball figures, they have interchangeable face plates, right? You just remove like the top of the hair, and then you can take off the face plate and then swap out whatever any other ones you want. So you can see here he has like I also mentioned interchangeable hair parts. So he has a swoosh hair here, and it's kind of his static standing hair. But yeah, you got four face plates, kind of your surprise look down here, your angry yelling faceplate here, your kind of stern look, and then your even more like gritty, angry look here. So you got the four different plates. Yeah, this is really cool for you. I just, again, the newer Dragon Ball figures are awesome. You know, I've been going back and getting some of these. I have this Gohan figure, but an older variation. So it's, yeah, I could use an update with a better articulation for sure. So I'm looking forward to this one. This one I got. But again, you know, shop around. It seems about $65 here in the States is about the going price for this one. But, you know, if you can find a seller somewhere outside the U.S., if you're, you know, outside the U.S. and somewhere closer to you or nearby who has a better price, you know, good luck. But either way, it's a good price. I'm just glad it's not exclusive, right? Usually some of the newer ones have been premium Bandai exclusive or exclusive either to Japan. But this is a wide release, so that's cool. A lot of people get their ability to get this figure if they want it. All right, so continuing on, which I was pretty stoked about. That not a lot. I don't think it got a lot of publicity or a lot of attention. This is the Ramen Toys, the 80s Commanders. So not Centurions, if that name rings a bell. But I went over, I think it was like the first figure Lowdown, first episode 1. I went over the not Max Ray figure, and they only had that one up at the time. But now they finally released the other two. So for those that don't know, Centurions was an 80s cartoon, animated cartoon, one of the ones that I grew up on and I really loved and was hoping we would get figures of, because they came out with figures of these back in the day. I think they were made by Kenner. Again, correct me if I'm wrong here, but I think it was Kenner. And they had like some kind of like interactive, you know, pieces. And I mentioned this again in episode 1, I think it was, or the previous figure Lowdown. You know, they have these armament, these weapon pieces that are kind of modular, and they kind of go into like different, there's like holes in their suits that you can attach them to, and you can mix and match, you know, different combos of kits or combos of suits. And so and there was 3 characters, 3 guys of the Centurions, and they each had a specialty. So this guy here, he's obviously, his specialty is the sky, right? So a lot of his suits are going to be jet based or air based, right, to help him fly. So he's going to flying around, and so, you know, here they call him Alex McKenner. Again, presuming that this isn't licensed and not based on Ace McCloud. Ace McCloud was the guy who was it was the name of the actual guy in the cartoon. So this is, they're kind of pricey though, so I don't know why they're as much as they are. I'm not sure, but this is going for about $70 on the website, on Ramen Toys website, with an NRD of about $15. This one stands about, again, this is 112, stands about 6 inches, so about 15.2 centimeters. 25 points of articulation, has the removable and interchangeable weapon systems, the uniquely sculpted head, 3 sets of hand, 3 pairs of hands, and says original box art collector's window packaging. And I haven't seen, let's see here, the box of that, so I'm not sure. See, it just shows this, you know, this part here. I don't know if that's just a front. It just says box art and it has this, but obviously it doesn't look like a box, so I'm not sure what's going on there. But and also on the website it says limited edition, so I think they're only making like a certain number, although they don't list what that is. But this is, I believe, the 3rd variation of this figure done by this company, Ramen Toys. So they did one way back in the day where they did like a more realistic approach. It was kind of the suit color and the way they weathered it kind of looked more like a more realistic design. The second one, I believe, was based on the old figures from the 80s, and I think this variation is supposed to be based on the actual cartoon, the animated series itself, I believe. That's just what it looks like. You know, again, I'm not sure. Correct me if I'm wrong on that, but it seems like kind of similar to what Super 7 is doing or has done, right? For some of their figures, they did some figures that are based on the old, some older retro vintage figures, right? And they redo figures that are based on the actual, you know, the source of the material, either the cartoon or the show or whatever it is. So they have like 2 different variations. They have different looks. So I think that's the case here also. So I mentioned they finally put up for pre-order 2 figures. So this is one, and then the second one is this guy, Jackson Stone. And if you couldn't tell, he's the land-based guy, the land-based operations expert, who is not based on Jake Rockwell. Jake Rockwell is the guy, the name of the actual guy in the from the cartoon. And yeah, so most of his suits had to do were land-based, you know, tank, military type, assault type of suits, as you can see here. The only thing I noticed is that they don't have additional suits or weapon kits that they sell separately. Unlike, you know, the underwater guy, the water guy, the water expert that I already covered that they had up. He has an additional suit that you can buy, you know, to interchange with. But I haven't seen one yet for these 2 figures here, so I don't know if they're going to come out with that later. I hope they do, because if not, it seems kind of limited, right? If they only came with these sets. I mean, it is what it is if that's the case, but it'd be cool if they came out with the other ones. I'd be happy just to get these as is, because again, this is one of those where, you know, part of being a collector as an adult, right? A lot of it's for us. A lot of us it's based on nostalgia, right? And so this is one of the figures, or the set of figures that I wish I would have had when I was younger that I didn't. And so now, you know, them coming out with this is scratching that itch for me. I'm able to finally have some representation of these figures. And so I think a lot of other people are going to feel that way too, who are planning on getting these. But yeah, like I said, these are up on the Robin Toys website. I don't think I have that in the description now, but I will after the stream. I'll put that down there for you guys to check out if you're interested. Let's see here. And I think, yeah, that is it. Wow, I went through all of that. That was quite a bit of figures, yeah, and went through all of that there. But yeah, thank you all for joining me, for tuning in, for all those catching the replay. I appreciate you coming through. For those of you that were here in the chat, who popped in to say hi, much love. Thank you all for coming through. And yeah, I've been slacking because I've been busy, you know, just doing home stuff, being daddy duties, right? That all the Christmas, man, I've been putting up Christmas decorations, you know, little by little. It's just a lot. So that's been keeping me busy. Of course, we had Thanksgiving, and just this past month, and most likely this coming month, it's just gonna be busy for me. So yeah, I've been busy, but I've been trying to, you know, get this, put the work in where I can to get this. I know I've neglected my other channel, Feezy's Media. I only have that review up. But yeah, I want to do some more. I do have some ideas in the works for that one. I want to talk about some movies. Obviously, the holidays are coming up, so I'm most likely going to have some more holiday-themed content on both channels. So yeah, keep a lookout for those. Keep an eye on the socials. If I can, I'll pop in other streams if I'm not too busy. But yeah, thank you all for coming through. Have a good night. Enjoy the rest of your day whenever you're watching. And I will catch you on the next one. Have a good one.